Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, episode 225. I'm IVATOPIA, and we're trying to get this person, Devil of Karok, to come with us, basically. And initially before that, we've spoke to him, he's given us an idea to theoretically use our powers and a device to look in someone's soul, then possibly awaken them to get some kind of poem that can open a door. That's the gist of what's happening, and she wants to come with us, and he's like, no! What was it? The golem says nothing, but her essence smolders, resentment rises. Basically, he told her no. What was it? So as I have need of you here, you're whatever remains of your wicked life. Okay. So what's the story between you two? Last coughing and wheezing.
This charming specimen is a convicted murderer.
Devil Karok, you call.
The Devil of Karok, she's called.
Huh.
Mighty fine of you to start with my good qualities, and you wonder why we don't get more visitors.
Okay, I don't like the fact she's a murderer. I like the fact that she's very funny. And technically, in this world, my characters are murderers technically too, aren't they? So.
Killed over a dozen people before they finally caught up to
Imagine a
her
lot more than
stalwart.
that.
Perfect company for lonely camps and mountain passes, no?
You know, did you all the while grinning wickedly at the motionless golem?
Hey, I know how to start a campfire.
Seriously.
The only reason she's not a frozen corpse is because I convinced the old mayor to let me try an experiment.
Sam has it over his face. Puts his soul into a metal body. And he's back raising his hands.
Into a work of art! Look at this! Craftsmanship worthy of a
Traces the
jeweler.
scroll work that runs along the golem's jaw.
Fully articulated joints, capable of grasping a pen and writing her
So
own
theoretically, she is. If she gets away, she's even better murderer now. And harder to kill. Or easier, depending if you can separate the body parts. But then it's metal versus skins and bones, so He grabs her hand and delicately bends her tapped fingers.
And of crushing your throat.
See? She snatches her hand away.
Show me another smith anywhere in the Deerwood who is capable of such delicacy and precision. She is a masterpiece.
Why did you build her?
Why build a fortress or a village or anything? To make something that keeps, that...
It's because the side rattles in his throat.
It was the early days of the legacy. My peers in the colleges of Animancy were filling the Hollowborn with the souls of animals.
Trapped in his chin. And you use humans. You're right, by comparison, this sounds perfectly sane. He rolls his eyes.
I thought there was a better way.
He is silenced for several seconds. His gaze growing distant.
One with a Plum Academy job back in Salona. Don't forget that part.
Glares out in her eyes. Why is she called the Devil of Karok?
She committed her first crime in the village of Karok. Burned their family alive in their home.
He shrugs. Okay, I'm really hoping she has a super good reason for that. So she's not just a plain murderer for the sake of it. You know, it was A, an accident. B, he's exaggerating by family, it's more like a gang of members. Or C, they viciously attacked her and she fought back. It's not, she just did it because she wanted to, that's what she says.
Did the same thing in half a dozen other villages, but the name stuck.
Take your experiment didn't go over well with the rest of the village.
Here we go.
She rolls her eyes, rasping them against the sockets.
They were going to stone her anyway. Why not allow her to be put to some useful purpose?
His lips curl back from yellowing teeth.
My life's ambition. To serve somebody's useful purpose.
I approached Mayor Sinahiod and begged. He saw the potential and allowed me the privilege of attempting my little experiment.
He sneered at their words and the indignity they recall. His shoulders are stooped and his teeth bared.
Then, I accomplished what few animancers have even dreamed of. No academic support, no patron. Just me in the middle of nowhere.
He jabs a finger into his concave chest.
Oh, now you got them all wound up.
Okay, I want to come with us.
I transferred a fully intact soul from a living subject to a fabricated body. She retained her personalities, her memories, all of it.
Claws at the air with one thick veined hand.
Yet the villagers saw only a stolen corpse.
Throws up his hand. Well, if he gave the person she has it, stolen, but okay. Afraid she'll murder you?
She may be mad, but she's no fool. She wouldn't survive long on her own.
Oh, you have to come back for maintenance.
If the villagers didn't send a hunting party after her, the elements would claim her. Her joints and mechanisms require maintenance, and she cannot perform all of it herself.
See, he's reminding me. In case I get any bright ideas.
So what to know?
She's a fine specimen, her personality notwithstanding.
Here's one hand in a circle of motion. Gom says nothing but her essence smolders resentment. She swirls her head back to look at you. I'd like you to travel with me.
Quay? No, you don't know what you asked.
His head waving his hands.
This woman, the Devil of Karek, she was a notorious murderer. Burned people alive all over the
I'd like to know her version of it.
Besides, she works for me.
Pay.
After all,
Just
I
pay.
am the one who preserved her.
Straightens his back and looks you up and down, taking your measures. I'll pay.
She's a valuable assistant, and one I've worked hard to create. I must see payment for her services. I'm sure you understand.
Fine price for a blacksmith striker. Suppose I should be flattered.
And there you
Gosh,
have it.
yes.
A bargain.
I was hoping she would just come alongside because we're going to have 6. I was going to bring everybody. Oh, great. Great. So she's going to be useful what we're doing, so really she needs to come, but who do I replace? So you can't replace the leader, it's me. He's my healer. I don't even know what she can do. Oh, she's a rogue. Do I have a rogue, technically? No. Padawan, Ranger, Monk, Barbarian. So she's a damage dealer. Okay, so you have to stay 'cause you're my healer. You have to stay 'cause you're the damn tank. It's between these 3, isn't it? So no Tiffy. Technically she's an extra tank because of her pet and range. I think she should stay for that reason. Because adds a bit of females to the group. That means the only's going to start dropping a level a little bit. Is there any way to get these up? Like, so you're moving to go straight to 10? I'm trying to think who's more useful. So I feel... I feel Caden, or Kanao, whatever, is more steady in battle. Where I feel he's more powerful, but he's more quick burst, if that makes sense. He potentially, in, say, 1 or 2 battles, he's going to do a lot more damage and be more useful than him. But after 2 to maybe 3 battles, there's also his powers, and he's pretty useless, where he, as long as, assuming he either die, he can keep going. I'm gonna... Yeah.
Safe travels.
I hope this is gonna work. Because basically, you're gonna be another melee. Basically, melee, range. Technically, range. We've got kind of 5 melees going at it because of her little pet, and 1 range. Oh, sorry, 2 range. And technically, I'm the mixed. So is he. Because while he's healing from the background, he's not ranging, and vice versa. Same with me. So this is for people. I'm going to screenshot this because I don't really remember bringing these others yet. Let me just test something. Okay, they do stay. There must be a way to level these. Because I feel he's going to fall behind now. Like, he's Hothead's 1. Let's set for now. There you have it, a bargain. He gives you a silent grin.
A moment. You are going back to Stalwart, yes?
Perhaps you could do me a favour.
Perhaps you could do me a
Thoughtful
favor.
frown. Tell me about this favour.
There is a man in the village named Grinder, the head fisherman.
Okay.
The rest of Stalwart kisses his feet because he fills their stinking blades with speckleback.
Okay.
But I know he's not as virtuous as he
Want to kill him?
seems.
Crimson Vicious Glee, what exactly do you want me to do to him?
That
So that
self-righteous
history.
meddler engineered my eviction from the village. He turned them all against me. Now I want him to feel the scorn of those mush-brained imbeciles. Humiliate him, of course. Show his neighbors what he truly is. And let him live with the disgrace.
Vaguely in the direction of the village, his thin arm trembling.
He's always been a ripple sponge addict.
Ripple sponge.
Just got good at hiding it once his sainted sister died and left him in charge of the fishery.
Ripple sponge.
But he keeps a stash in
okay.
the fishery. Sneaks in at night when the others have gone home, and emerges sluggish and red-eyed a few hours later. I want you to expose him. Go to the fishery after dark when it's empty. Find his ripple sponge and show it to Renengild.
I see.
Do not answer me now.
Holds up a hand.
But when you return to that festering eyesore and smell the stink of fish that hangs in the air, consider
grins.
what I've said. Besides, you appreciate a good joke, don't you? De Verus, this will be a great one. But be sure to approach the fishery by night, when it's empty. They will give you no end of trouble if they see you stealing during the day.
Questions about the devil, Karak?
As must the gods themselves.
He looks to the ceiling and opens his hands. Story, that's not enough. Okay.
Something else?
Tell me
Quiet.
again about how to awaken someone.
You're the Watcher, so you know better than anyone, De Verus. You must find a sole descendant of one of the dwarves of Durgan's battery. Talk to the villagers, look into their souls, whatever it is you do.
That's basically repeating what we had before,
When
isn't
you
it?
find such a one,
repetitions,
remind the sleeping soul of... As would I, but there is little to tell. They never gave their names.
I'll give it names.
But they seem to know more about the battery than the others, which is unusual.
Yeah, this is already...
They did not... Their hands were smooth and marked with ink, not scars. And they traveled light. Unusually so.
Okay, that's new information. Didn't say about doing that, did they? Last time, unusual indeed. What do you suppose they were looking for?
Val himself could not have said, and I haven't the time to concern myself with the business of
What were
strangers.
those constructs I encountered in your workshop?
Other projects, they are none of your
Well, they're dead
concern.
now. Tandem looks quickly away from you. Don't have enough to say them. Trust you. Do those constructs have something to do with it? He mutters fiercely under his breath, raising his hands to the ceiling.
For years I've been trying to create another like the Devil of Carrick. Yet those post-Denakos in Stalwart destroyed my machinery.
His dropping skin trembles in his rage.
Now, I can only create these broken, mindless things. The Devil remains my most perfect creation.
Those twists with the taste of something bitter. Never mind. Wait, where have you found the souls to create these other golems? Do you need more golems?
Smugglers, slavers, fugitives, the kind of riffraff that pass this way. Rarely missed, and good work to keep my little devil busy.
So you've been using her to kill them. Do you need more golems?
I can't present the Devil of Carrick to the academies, can I? A mad woman and a murderer? No. I need to bring a success to the Republics.
Put his hands together, frowning.
Something else?
Okay. Oh. Sorry, I forgot you don't like that. To be crude, can we still talk to you after doing that?
The devil has not scorched you yet, eh?
Can we talk to these? I forgot how this works.
Right here.
So to get her version of the story. Of her eyes scrape against the sockets as they look at you. Said you murdered several people before he transferred you.
Effigy's eyes, that man loved to talk.
So her eyes roll to the socket. Tell me why you killed. That's what I want to know.
Won't make the deed seem any kinder.
IVATOPIA. I've heard parts of your story from others. I'd rather hear the rest from you. Hissing noise comes from the bronze golem you recognise as a sigh.
Mayhap you've heard of Coldmore. Was a quiet, forgettable patch of the woods. Till a pack of rabid clodhoppers set it afire.
Fingers of one hand twitched and clicked against one another in a pair of sudden spastic motions.
That was the start of the purges. Dear Woodens killing their own.
Exactly happened. I need it higher. What exactly happened to her? Burst of heat flares from her seams as her essence surges and boils.
A farmer on the other side of the mountains woke up one day with his head all aflame and took it for the gibbering speech of his god.
Okay.
And so did a few thousand of his countrymen. So when he tired of Vorlus fields and marched west, a horde of armed Hicks followed.
Apparently my guy's an idiot in this game.
Saint Widwin and his blazing crusade celebrated his coup in Raid Saris by invading the Deerwood. Most of his forces headed north to Helgot Citadel, but a lucky few thousand ventured through the mountains. Through Cold Morn. We let him pass.
And then they killed your little family?
You were from Cold Morn?
And they hit.
When I heard what happened out there after the war, I couldn't believe my ears.
Fine line between couldn't and wouldn't.
Why didn't you try to stop the fingers? You betrayed your countrymen. On the forgetful sort, you must have known that wouldn't end well. So you didn't have much choice. Why didn't you try to stop the recon, or what they're called? Yeah.
They had us clean beaten numbers. Even bumpkins like us figured
Okay,
out.
so you let them go past, okay.
Just look at Mercy Vale. They fought back. And now there ain't one stone standing atop another in the whole village.
She sweeps one bronze palm across another, metal screeching.
Besides, we asked the Duke for help. Told him Widewind's troops was coming through the mountains. Seems he had better uses for his...
Crosses her arms over her plated chest.
So we let Widewind's soldiers pass. Left him for the Duke to wrangle on his own terms.
So clank of the flickers. Okay, what's he got to do? Set fire. She goes to fight him afterwards. Oh, finally, I can be smart. So Colmore was purged in retaliation.
Was after the Godhammer made a fine grit out of Widewind.
Oh.
When Deerwoodens were running on rage and looking for something to burn.
Catch a glimmer of a glance at her seams as razor thin wires pulled tight within her body. So basically, her village, these things are coming, they're going to attack, this war, whatever, and her village is like, there's just not enough, there's too many of them, we fight, we're dead. So they just go past, we don't want any trouble. They went to the village and, like the mayor leader, come on, we got to do something about this, we can't, there's not enough of us. And then for that, somebody saw them as helping them and then purged them afterwards, so in other words, wiped the village out. And that's the gist I'm getting.
They came at dark. Hundreds of folk. Every one of them mourning someone lost in the war.
Chuckle ticks in her throat.
Must have decided it was our duty to escort their dead back to the wheel.
Wow.
They didn't light their torches till they had us surrounded. Time we saw them, there was a ring of fire closing around us.
Pauses and a mechanism in the back of her skull clicks dully.
I woke. Ran to the window. Whole village were a maze of flames. Couldn't see nothing for the smoke. And the screams.
Oh. From spasms to a strange rhythmic beat.
Most ran for the streets. Got caught by the mob. Others hid, let their houses burn down around them.
To do with your crimes. That she went after them afterwards.
Hunting down the men and women what took part. Thought that much was
That's what I thought, yeah. So she wasn't killing... So she wasn't killing innocent people then. So basically, they had no choice. If they thought they would have died, they wanted to do something about it, they couldn't. And then because other people lost because they marched through and they didn't stop them, they blamed them for it. So they murdered them. Then she went free back and it was a stone for a stone, isn't it, basically? You couldn't have hoped to get them all. Kill people who attack Colmore, right?
Sure.
Flat and expressless as a fact. But you got it wrong sometimes.
You want me to tell you straight? I found the men and women what destroyed my village, and I burned their houses down around them.
Including their families who were also inside, I bet you, what she's getting at.
Sometimes they was alone,
Yeah.
and sometimes they
And
wasn't.
with that, we'll continue this conversation with her next episode. We've gone over a little bit here, so please like, subscribe, share, subscribe, and IVATOPIA. You've been so thank you for watching. See you next time, everyone. Bye, everybody.